Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sport Breaks. Of course, I am your host, Dante Washington, aka Coach Peanut, back with you guys for another episode. Had a lot going on over the past weekend, of course. A lot of NCAA basketball, men and women's going on. NBA had action going on, of course. We also had the conference championships in the college football world going on. And of course, today is Sunday, so week 13 of the NFL started Thursday, but we got our main slate and everything else going on today. But of course, before we get started with anything, make sure that you are subscribed and downloading Sport Breaks on Spotify or wherever you're getting your podcasting from. Also, make sure that you are subscribed and following Sport Breaks on all social media platforms. Like the content, it helps push the envelope and push that out there for everyone else to see it. Also, make sure that you hit that bell wherever there's a bell so that you'll be notified whenever I drop a video like I'm doing right now or in audio, period. All right? Let's go. I honestly do not know where I want to start. Wow. And I'm me myself. I do not plan my shows. I pull up everything that I do, statistic wise, my schedule, whatever the case is. I pull that up, but I do not plan my show. I get on here and I freestyle that thing like I'm Meek Millie or something. For real, for real. Um, why don't I do this? Let's ladies first. I am going to start in the NCAA world with women's college basketball. Looking at the standings, the rankings, South Carolina, of course. Shout out to the Gamecock ladies. They are ranked currently number one, followed by UCLA, Stanford, Iowa, NC State, USC, Colorado ranked seventh. LSU is what looks like virtually locked between seventh and eighth. But right now, I'm going to say they're the eighth ranked team in the country. Virginia Tech is ninth, and to round out the top 10 is the Texas Longhorns. Looking on the men's side, a lot of games got had over the weekend. Most notable game to me, Friday, the number one ranked Purdue Boilermakers went down to Northwestern. 4 and 5 in UConn and Kansas battled on Friday as well. Kansas won that game 69-65. The third ranked Marquette squad lost to Wisconsin yesterday. So to me, that was one of the big games that I got had. That top 5 team went down. 18th ranked Villanova also went down yesterday to Drexel, 57-55. Duke also lost. They were the 7th ranked team in the country. They lost to Georgia Tech, 72-68. And that was pretty much it with ranked teams losing. Games for today: 22nd James Madison takes on Keystone. 21st ranked Mississippi State takes on Southern on the men's side. On the women's side, today it is a slew of games. 22nd ranked Louisville will take on NC A&T, North Carolina A&T. 25th ranked Princeton will take on Rhode Island. Number 1 South Carolina will take on the Duke Blue Devils. 5th ranked North Carolina State will take on Illinois State. 15th ranked Florida State will take on Kent State. 23rd ranked Marquette will take on Penn out of the Ivy League. 21st ranked Mississippi State Lady Bulldogs will take on Chattanooga. Oregon will take on the 13th ranked Baylor Lady Bears. 2nd ranked UCLA will take on Arkansas. 17th ranked Indiana will take on Stetson. And a battle of top 15 teams. The 11th ranked UConn Lady Huskies will take on The Lady Longhorns from Texas, who are ranked 10th in the country. Stanford, third ranked team in the country, will take on Gonzaga. Another top 25 showdown, the 16th ranked Ohio State Lady Buckeyes will take on the Lady Vols from Tennessee, who are currently ranked 20th in the country. And the last game on the slate will be the 6th ranked USC Lady Trojans taking on San Diego. That is my quick minute on the NCAA college basketball for men and women's. Looking at the college football slate yesterday, of course, a lot of games got had, a lot of teams lost, a lot of teams won, and if you have been paying attention, I was telling you guys and gals about the scenarios, what I felt. If you follow me on Twitter, or formerly Twitter, if you follow me on X, I started to say some loose stuff yesterday, but I said a lot about what could happen, and a lot of things transpired yesterday that will definitely make the college world flip upside down. In case you have been sleeping all yesterday and have not woken up yet and seen the scores, the 20th ranked Liberty was in their conference championship game. They played New Mexico State. They won that game. Of course, 5th ranked Oregon took a L to Washington. So Washington finished off their season as Pac-12 champions, regular and conference. Texas blew away Oklahoma State in the Big 12 championship game, 49-21. And that was the start of things to transpire that will make you say, Miami of Ohio bested Toledo, who was ranked 23rd in the country, 23-14, for their conference championship. I want to say that's the MAC or whatever the case is. Anywho, SMU beat Tulane. 25th ranked SMU Mustangs won this game 26-14. And of course, in the biggest surprise of last night's college championship game slate, Georgia, number 1 ranked Georgia Bulldogs lost to Alabama 27-24. I told anybody with the ear that Georgia was not like that. Georgia defense is okay. Offensively, I did not see them being like that, and that's just my opinion. I am entitled to that. But that was the biggest shock of them all. Of course, Michigan, the 2nd ranked Michigan Wolverines took on Iowa. Nobody gave Iowa a chance, and rightfully so. The Wolverines blanked the Iowa Hawkeyes 26-0. And lastly, the game that everyone wanted to, I ain't gonna say they didn't want it, they wanted to talk about it. They don't want to talk about this. And we will definitely get more in depth with this. But I think I'm gonna go live for that after I finish this recording. 15th ranked Louisville took on the Florida State Seminoles minus Jordan Travis. But nonetheless, the Seminoles won this game to remain undefeated and win the ACC outright conference and tournament title 16-6. And that was our championship Saturday. The previous rankings were Georgia number 1, Michigan number 2, Washington number 3, Florida State number 4, Oregon number 5, and Ohio State number 6. Texas was 7th. Alabama was 8th. Missouri 9th. And rounding up the top 10 was Penn State. Again, I will definitely get more in depth with this conversation in a few. I don't know where I'm going to go live at. I think I'm going to go live on Instagram. And I will share that to the various sites. But the biggest part of this conversation definitely will be how far Georgia falls. We can already pencil in Michigan to 1, Washington to number 2. How far does Georgia fall? 1, that's one question. 2, will the committee punish Florida State for having an injured star player? 2, that is the second question. 3, did Alabama do enough to jump from 8 to 4 or higher? And the fourth question that I want to ask, since we are only taking 4 teams in this ranking this year, next year we will be going to 12, so sayonara to the college football playoff 4-team format after this year. But the fourth question is, will Texas dive into the top 4 over Georgia or Alabama? I will see you guys live in a few. Once you see this, after seeing the live, you'll be like, man, Peanut he know a little bit. I do. Going forward, of course, today is Sunday, so I definitely got to give you the NFL schedule, the rundown, and as always, I'm giving you the game that I want to see, and I will break that down accordingly. So before we get started with that, again, make sure that you are downloading and subscribing to Sport Breaks on Spotify or wherever you're getting your podcasting from. Also, make sure that you are following and subscribing to Sport Breaks on all social media platforms. I am on Facebook. I am on Instagram. I am on TikTok. I am on X. What else? I am on LinkedIn. I am also on... I'm on Reddit. I'm also on... it's another little site that I really can't understand. But yeah, look up Sport Breaks. I am on it all. Make sure that you like whatever content. Go back and listen to a lot of stuff that I have already spoke on. Like I said, I did a whole video on wins and losses for the whole entire NFL. I was absurdly wrong in certain situations, but I was right in a lot of them as well. So make sure that you go check the past content out. Make sure that you continue to look at what I'm doing right now. Again, join the conversation. If you are an athlete, high school wise, and you want to be interviewed, I'm ready. I'm ready. I got some stuff to do. We can do it video wise. I'm down for you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start throwing those out to people. And if you're free, we're gonna get it in, all right? Anywho, to the NFL. Like I said, week 13, we have already had the Cowboys beating the Seahawks Thursday 41-35. But now today, on an early slate, today's 1 o'clock games goes as follow. The Colts will take on the Titans. The Falcons will take on the Jets. The Lions will take on the Saints. The Broncos will take on the Texans. The Chargers will take on the Patriots. The Cardinals will take on the Steelers. The Dolphins will take on the Commanders. And those were all my 1 o'clock game slates. For our 4 o'clock window goes as follows. The Browns will travel to LA to take on the Rams. The Chiefs, The Panthers will take on the Buccaneers. The 49ers will take on the Eagles in the rematch of the NFC Championship game. And tonight's game at 8 o'clock, the 8 o'clock game will be the Chiefs traveling to Lambeau Field to take on my Green Bay Packers. I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say this. The Chiefs are not the old Chiefs, and we're going to beat the Chiefs. Watch. You heard it here first, and you see it coming out my mouth. My Packers will beat the Chiefs tonight, and it will not be pretty. Watch. And Monday night, we have the Bengals of Cincinnati taking on the the London Jaguars. Yeah. The game I most want to see today will intrigue you a little bit. It's not about the win-losses with me. It's about what's really going on with certain teams. And the game I want to see is in our 1 o'clock window, and it is the Los Angeles Chargers against the New England Patriots. Why I want to see this game? Because if you look at this game, and both teams are reeling, both teams are way under 500. Both teams are very suspect. You have the Chargers coming in at 4-7. You have the Patriots coming in at 2-9. This is not the typical thing that we have grown accustomed to seeing with the Patriots. The Chargers are a team that made the playoffs last year and gave up a big lead to the Jacksonville Jaguars and lost that game. And to me, it has trickled down throughout this season. A lot of scrutiny around their coach, who is a defensive-minded coach, but yet is giving up so many points a game, whose offense has not been up to par. Yes, Austin Ekeler has been hurt, but he has been back for quite some time. Justin Herbert, of course, 402 attempts, 266 completions for 2,826 yards. He has thrown 20 TDs and 6 INTs. Sounds like a decent enough number, and it is. He's completing 66.2% of his passes. The guy is being the guy. Keenan Allen, of course, leading receiver. Keenan has been targeted 129 times for 97 receptions. Wow. 1,117 yards on the season, 7 touchdowns to go along with it. But if you look at their receiving core after that, 39 targets for Joshua Palmer, 44 for Austin Ekeler, 26 for Mike Williams, who is hurt, 31 for Gerald Everett. There's nobody else next to him at all. And that says a lot about this team and the fact that they are somewhat one-dimensional. It is crazy to think about it that when I say he, Justin Herbert, has been this decent, but yet it's not producing wins. Austin Ekeler is one of 3 backs that has over 200 yards. Well, not back. He is one of 2 backs that has over 200 yards. Justin Herbert himself has over 200 yards rushing. If you don't believe it, go check the stats. 48 carries on 233 yards. Seriously. So I don't know if it's a mix of running. I don't know if it's a mix of what their defense isn't doing. Of course, they have Khalil Mack, who has had some spectacular games. They have Joey Bosa. Of course, he is always a perennial Defensive of the Year award candidate. I don't know. Asante Samuel Jr., he has played phenomenal. Eric Kendricks at linebacker. Kenneth Murray at linebacker. They have a decent enough defense. So what is the problem with the Chargers? Is it the coach? Maybe it is, and a lot has said, "Hey, it is the coach," and that is why I want to see this game. I want to see which uh, Chargers team happens to pull up because the defensive-minded coach, his team has been so roller coaster defensively. It is it's almost pitiful that you pride yourself on being that, but your team is not there. To me, I think they need to make a change. Whether it be quarterback, whether it be scheme. I mean, I don't know. I'm not the one to say a coach should get the boot because I've been a coach and I want to get back into coaching. I don't want to get the boot. I mean, but you have to change with the times, which leads me to the New England Patriots. Mac Jones is 345 attempts for 224 completions, 64.9% of his passes. He has completed 2,120 yards, only 10 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, which means he is not being productive at all, but he is throwing it to the other team more so than not. And to me, this is definitely they made the playoffs his rookie year, but then you regress and say, "Hey, I'm gonna give you no type of offensive play caller who's been into that, whatever the case is." To me, he has regressed. The fact that they do not have a steady pass catcher or a bona fide superstar runner, but Ramondre Stevens has been the bell cow. I will not take nothing away from the guy. He is a bona fide stud, 147 carries, 580 yards, but only 4 touchdowns. Again, their offense is not being productive at all. Um, you only have two people on the roster that has over 300 yards, and Ezekiel Elliott has 95 carries for 377 yards. Only 2 touchdowns. Again, you have 6 rushing touchdowns total on the season thus far, and we are in week 13. 12 weeks, and you have only 6 rushing touchdowns. That is a big problem. No receiver. You have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You have 9 receivers with over 100 yards. Spreading the ball out, just not effectively. And a lot of people have said that since the firing of the Raiders coach, he will be back next year to assume his role with the Patriots. I'm not sure that that's going to help the Patriots as a team be great or better. Not going to even say great. They need to get better. Defensively, they have been reeling since the loss of their all-world linebacker, and his name is on the tip of my tongue, and I'm looking for his name right here. Let me look it up right quick. But they have to be better. And when I say be better, I mean they have to be better up and down. The Patriots have never looked this bad, and again, just like the Chargers, we have to look at the coach first and foremost. Is it Bill Belichick? I mean, like, seriously, is it Bill Belichick? Is it his coordinators? There is a reason for their issues. And the player I was speaking on was Matthew Judon. When Matthew Judon went down, that was a wrap. Defensive wise. Looking at their roster, it's a bunch of no name guys. The only guy I know that I've seen ball was Jabril Peppers, and he out of Michigan product. Um, yeah, but the reason why I want to see this game, I want to see this game to, and it's selfish of me to want to see this game and base it on the coaches. I want to see these two defensive coaches uh, put their defenses in better positions, but also challenge their coordinators offensively to put their defenses in easier situations. And it's the same thing for both sides. They have to play good solid defense and get off the field in 3 downs. But offensively they have to play solid offenses to not put yourself in, second and long, third and forever. Like, you need to get first downs and move the ball, and not only just get first downs and move the ball. When you get in the red zone, you definitely need to score. Like, I want to see this game, and I need this game to be like literally 35-28, or you know, I need for this game to be a high scoring game, but I need for the last team to have the ball to score a touchdown and win this game. Just for my mind's sake, because I just I don't know. Paper says the Chargers should blow this team out with what Justin Herbert and that offense has done thus far. Like, it says that, but I don't believe that. Like, I don't believe it's going to happen. Bill Belichick is a great coach still. He is prideful. He just does not have the star-studded names on his roster to go along with anything. Because when he was winning, of course, we knew he picked a diamond out of the rough in Tom Brady. But he surrounded them with decent enough players that was maybe not all the way household names. They was not first round plausible names, but they were great players. So I want to see this game be the last team has the ball, they win. And I wouldn't mind both of them scoring in the 30s for sure. Like, seriously. So that is my NFL, my whole preview for today. I am going to do something live in a few on the college football playoffs. So definitely make sure that you go to Instagram and follow me on there, so you can check it out. Or if not, make sure you're someplace on social media, or like I said, on Spotify or wherever you're getting your podcasting from, so that you can see what is about to transpire. Because I'm finna go ape on they for sure. But it is what it is, man. Hey, y'all see it, Gate City, man. Shout out to the boy, Mac, man. Yeah, Mac McClung, man. Shout out to Mac McClung, man. Y'all ain't know nothing about it. I've been up on Mac McClung. Got to high school, and supposedly he signed it. I don't know if that's his signature or not, but if it ain't, hey Mac, get at your boy, man. Hey, send me a signed game jersey or something. You know what I mean? All right, but anyway, man. Look, as always, if it ain't Sport Breaks, people, it ain't shh. Knowledge, world. Peace.